Thank you, Russ. So yeah, as Russ mentioned there, a lot of my work is with this foundational piece of work called the Gene Keys, which is a contemplative path. As Russ mentioned, he works with human design. Gene Keys has its roots in the I Ching in the same way that human design does, and has some human design within it too. So we're going to enter into this with a bit of a pause, actually, a bit of an attunement to the work of the Gene Keys, which is this contemplative path. So my invitation at this moment would be for you, as long as you're not driving anywhere, as long as you're listening in a place where you can be still, where you can close your eyes, is to close your eyes, to drop in, to begin to turn your attention inwards, because this contemplation of who we are is something that takes place on the inside of our being. It's irrespective of what's going on in the world around us. So let's turn our attention to our breath. With each breath that we take, we can move deeper into presence, deeper into awareness of what's going on with inside of ourselves. We slow down. We step away from the busyness of the world, the noise of the world, the conditioning of the world. We begin to attune to that still, quiet voice within, our intuition. We make space to hear our deeper presence. And so with each deep breath in and out, with each exhale, within each inhale, we're moving deeper into this presence, into this present moment. And as we work with the Gene Keys, we might come across these numbers and these keys. At first, it can seem like there's a complexity to it, and there is a complexity. But here we begin with the simple, that it can be very simple to contemplate. And oftentimes, contemplation is viewed or understood as something of the mind. But this is a full presence that we bring to our physical, our emotional, our mental beings. And so, as you're in this space of pause in this moment, as you're sitting here in the quiet, just notice what's going on inside of your body at this moment. Are you feeling light and relaxed? Are you feeling tension? If you're feeling tension, where do you feel that in the body? What happens when you simply bring awareness to it? Not with any intention to change anything, to make anything better, just to bring attention to it, to breathe into that tension, into that constriction within your being. Notice how your feet are planted on the floor. Notice where your hands are. Notice how your shoulders are. Just become aware of your physicality, your physical being. The physical body sometimes talks to us the loudest, but sometimes we have to allow ourselves the pause. We have to allow ourselves to slow down, to listen to what's going on. And now as we listen, as we feel into our body, maybe you've had experiences in this day that have caused a heightened emotion of some kind. Perhaps you've been feeling overwhelmed. Perhaps you've been feeling sadness. Perhaps you've been feeling joy. In these moments of pause, we can just bring our attention mindfully to those states, those feelings, those experiences. Again, we might notice where they reside within our body. If we're feeling anxious, if we're feeling fearful, where does that show up in the body? If you're feeling lightness and joy and gratitude, how do you experience that? How do you feel that? Sometimes in the busyness of the day, it can just be really valuable to take those little pauses. We don't need to always be seated in this way. We could be moving through a grocery store. We could be walking through a busy street. We could be on our way to work. We could be doing anything really. These pauses don't necessarily mean that we stop moving, but that we just pause internally. And in those pauses, too, we might begin to notice the thoughts. Just notice the thoughts that are arising in this moment. Are they thoughts of this present moment, or are they thoughts about aspects of your life, challenges in your life? Or are you making space for thoughts that allow you to break free of some of the conditioning of the world? As you tune in, as you listen, perhaps you get to hear that ever-present voice of your intuition. And so just be for a few moments here in silence. And if thoughts arise, we just simply thank them. If they're disruptive thoughts or they feel like distractions, we simply thank them. And so contemplation is of the body, is of the emotions, is of the mind. As we contemplate in the moments of challenge in our life, in the moments of quiet in our life, we might receive those insights on the mental plane. And as those mental insights begin to move through us, they open up to the potential for breakthroughs, emotional breakthroughs in our lives. And some, as they're allowed to, as we allow them to within our being, become these fully embodied epiphanies. And so this work with the gene keys is something that opens us up to the potential for insight, breakthroughs, and epiphanies on the mental, the emotional, the physical levels of our being. And so with openness and curiosity today, perhaps you have your own question that you want to bring to our space today. Perhaps it might be answered through words that are spoken by myself or Ross, or perhaps the answer will arise in your own being just by simply tuning into the field. And so I invite you to bring your full awareness now back to your physical being in this here and now. With your feet firmly planted on the floor, beginning to wiggle your fingers, your toes, and just opening up, becoming curious as to what this time together might bring for you. As Ross and I show up here now in conversation to serve you and to serve this body of work known as the Gene Keys. And whenever you're ready, Ross included, you can open your eyes and we can begin to converse.